Hey guys, it's Mimi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. And in this week's video, I'm going to be talking about where I've been. I wanted to do a little life update and Q&A for you guys just to kind of catch up again because it has been a while. And even last year, YouTube, like posting consistently to YouTube was not something that was happening. And I wanted to kind of just talk to you guys about why, tell you where I'm at. We moved recently and yeah, just give a little update. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. If somehow this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, hello, my name is Mimi. I make videos all about LDS news, doctrine, and culture, and a little bit about my life here and there. So if you're interested in any of those topics, feel free to subscribe down below if you'd like. Okay, I don't even know where to start this. So I feel like last year was so crazy. So much happened. And a lot of that was with work. We moved, we were traveling a lot for my husband's work, and that led me to really not be able to post as consistently to YouTube as I would like. But I want you all to know that posting regularly is something that is going to be a priority for me in 2022. I have so many ideas, and I can't wait to start doing more here. I was thinking back to my time on Saints Unscripted. Some of you may know me from that YouTube channel, and I just loved it so much. And going and filming every week, we would film like 3 videos at once every week, and it was just so much fun. And it's so fulfilling. I love connecting with you all, reading your comments, being able to respond to your questions, and then hearing your success stories and that you're like joining the church and making progress from our YouTube channel was the most fulfilling thing ever. So it's definitely something that I miss and want to come back to doing more of. So just to back up a little bit, my husband's named Eric, if you don't know him, and we moved to New Mexico last August, in August of 2021. Before that, we were living in Phoenix, Arizona. We only lived there for about a year. So my husband was in kind of like a management development program with his company. So we knew we'd only be living in Arizona temporarily. And now New Mexico is hopefully going to be our more long-term home. We've moved, I want to say, like 5 times since we've been married, and we've only been married for 4 years. So it was a lot, and I'm very excited that we're able to kind of settle down in one place. We were able to buy a house, which we're so excited about. We're still like making progress. As you can see, like my YouTube background's probably going to change a lot in the next few videos, just as I get things more set up. But it's been so fun having more space and being able to decorate, and just living in a new place has been really interesting. I had never been to New Mexico before we moved here, so I really didn't know what to expect. For privacy reasons, I won't give like exactly where we're living at, but we're in like a small town outside of Albuquerque. It's a really small town. Maybe not, like there's smaller towns, but at least from what I'm used to, it's kind of crazy, like little things, like there's not like a bowling alley here, there's not an Ulta, like we have to make regular trips into Albuquerque to do a lot of our errands, which is fine. We're getting used to it. We just like make a whole trip out of it. But it's definitely been an adjustment, just living in a different kind of environment. I don't know, like the people are different, just the culture and everything. So it's been good. It's definitely been different. I miss Utah sometimes, but we've definitely met amazing people out here, and it's been a really great experience overall. Another big thing is with work. So if you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I started my own business in August of 2020. So it's been a little over a year now. It is called On Trend Social, and I do social media marketing. So I help brands and influencers and entrepreneurs. I just help them with their social media. I offer social media management, consulting. I do speaking at events, lot of them virtual lately. But I love it. I love my job so much. I worked in the corporate world for a few years doing social media, and I just decided I wanted to kind of do my own thing. A big thing was to have more flexibility and just be able to be more in control of my schedule. I'm able to work remotely, which has been a huge, huge thing since we've been moving around so much. So it's been really good. The other big thing kind of the elephant in the room. If you follow me like on Instagram, you know this, but I am also pregnant. My due date is July 15th. So crazy. I'm already in my second trimester, which is insane. You can hear I'm like out of breath. I just get out of breath from talking. So sorry about that if that is annoying to you, but we're so excited. It's all been so new. I am the oldest sibling, so I haven't really been around a lot of like pregnant people. On Eric's side of the family, we do have some nieces and nephews, but we've never really like lived super close to them. I don't know. It's brand new to me. Pregnancy has been so intense. Like, it's so much harder than I expected. I've been exhausted, nauseous, like so sick every day. And yeah, it's been tough. I have so much more respect for moms, especially working moms and moms who already have children. Like, I can't even imagine like being this sick and taking care of other kids. Like, I don't know how they do it. They're so amazing. I'm so grateful again for my job because I can work remotely and I've been able to be really flexible with my schedule. I can't imagine going into the office, and especially when you're like not telling anyone you're pregnant yet, because you typically wait until 12 weeks or so to announce it. But yeah, that would be rough. Like, people would probably catch on. Like if you're like you have to like run to the bathroom to go throw up or something. But anyway, I am really grateful for the situation I'm in now. I've also had the flexibility to cut back on some clients. The big thing with work, I won't go into much like the nitty gritty, but the big thing with work is I'm trying to switch my strategy so I'm not trading time for money as much. And without sounding like a total guru, because they're so annoying, but I am trying to work on more like courses and things people can do on their own pace and train people how to run their social media instead of having me run it for them. I just think that flexibility is going to be really nice when I have a little baby. And just so I don't have as much pressure on myself, because I feel like that's been the biggest thing with pregnancy is you're just like so exhausted. And I'm like such a busybody. I'm a workaholic. I've been working since I was like 15 nonstop, and it's just like my life. Like, it's just what I do. And so kind of having to separate that, and I'll go into this more later because someone asked a question on, when did you decide that you were going to be ready to have kids? That was a tough decision for me. And so just with work, because I feel like that's so much of my identity. And so anyway, I'll get more into that later, but I'm really trying to separate my work self and just like who I am. And I have self-worth outside of that, and just trying not to put so much pressure on myself as I'm going through this process. I'm growing a human, okay? Like, I can give myself some slack, take naps when I need to, and I finally am caught up with all of my client work and obligations. So I don't have people like waiting on me right now, which feels so good. So I really can just focus on, building some of those courses and things like that, and then focusing on my personal brand, because I would love to keep doing this as a mom and make more content for you guys. So that is another update. The last thing I wanted to include in this little life update part is our new callings. So Eric and I, when we first moved to New Mexico, pretty quickly we got called to be primary teachers. And to be completely honest, when I moved here, I was really excited because I've always wanted to work with young women. Like, it's been my dream calling, like just being an advisor or whatever. Just because I feel like while I'm still young, I can still kind of relate. At least that's what I thought. And so I like so badly wanted to have a calling with the young women, and we got called in primary, which I was still so excited about. But I'd already been a primary teacher in the past. I've been a Relief Society instructor. I was like, okay, like maybe it's my time to be in young women, and it ended up not. And I was like, okay, but we started teaching primary, and we just loved it. We had the sweetest kids. And then alongside that, we also did activity days, which is basically twice a month. There's an activity that you do with the kids. The boys and girls are separate. Eric did the boys, I did the girls, and we would do like crafts and fun stuff like that. And it was the best. So loved that. And then alongside with that, we were also temple workers. We're ordinance workers at the Albuquerque, New Mexico temple. We still are. We only do it twice a month. But you guys, it is the best calling. If you ever get a chance to serve in the temple, take advantage. Like, I have learned so much, and just going into the temple with that different objective of, instead of going, for myself and to serve those who have passed on, I'm going with the objective and motive to serve the patrons and people attending the temple. And being a temple worker has been so special. I feel like I could do a whole video on this, but like, you can just feel God's love for everybody that comes into the temple, and just having the opportunity to serve them and help with ordinances. And I got to help with a sealing of parents to their children, and it was just the most amazing thing ever. So I wish I had done it sooner, because now obviously when the baby comes, I'm not going to be able to work as a temple worker anymore, but I wish I did it when I was in school. If you're preparing for mission, if you're just getting home from your mission, if you're in school, if you have the opportunity, I would highly recommend it. Even if it's just like, I didn't know you could only do it twice a month. I thought we were going to do because we do Saturday nights. I thought we'd do every Saturday night, but they didn't really need people then too. And we're like, okay, like we'll do twice a month. And you can always substitute too to fill it if you want to work more. But anyway, maybe I'll do a whole video on this. I could talk about this forever. There's obviously not a ton you can talk about, because a lot of it is sacred, and I want to respect that. But it's been amazing. So that has been our other calling. And then, okay, I feel like, oh my gosh, I've been filming for so long. There's so much to catch you guys up on. So then in November, I got called in to speak with the bishop. And I went in, Eric came too, and the bishop said that he had a calling to extend to me, and he asked me to serve as the young women's president in my ward. And as he was extending that calling to me, I was immediately emotional, and I had no idea what that calling entailed. I just knew it was going to be a big responsibility. But as my bishop was explaining it to me and extending the call, it just felt so right. Like, I felt the Spirit so strong, and I felt so lucky and honored that I had the opportunity to serve the rising generation of the church. Like, we know how special these youth are. If you're a youth watching, I can't remember exactly what President Nelson says. I think, the hope of Israel or something like that, but I just know how special these people are, and I was so excited. And so obviously I accepted the call, and I've been serving as the Young Women's President since November, mid-November, I think is when it officially went through. But basically the old Young Women's President was just moving out. And so I then had the challenge of deciding on a presidency when I'd only lived there for 2 months or 3 in this ward. I haven't really gotten a chance to get to know a ton of people because COVID and just, I don't know, we've been busy unpacking and everything. So that was a little bit stressful, but I ended up getting my presidency all nailed down. They are amazing. And yeah, it's been amazing serving as the Young Women's President. It is a lot of work. It's a little bit stressful at times, just when it comes to the administrative stuff and planning meetings and different activities or whatever. But the best part is the girls. I seriously love them. I can't believe how much I love them already, and I haven't even been in the calling for that long. Getting to know them has been so incredible. They're all so different and amazing, and there's no drama. These are the sweetest girls. When I was in Young Women, there was drama, man. It was a lot, but this group is so wonderful, and I can't wait to keep serving with them. But just to kind of set the stage too, I got that calling, and just so you know, I'll talk about this more in the video, but for a while, Eric and I didn't know if we'd be able to have children biologically, and so that I thought was my answer. When the bishop gave me that calling, I was like, that's a big calling. Maybe it's going to be a while. Maybe it's not going to happen. This is where my focus is going to be. And then 4 days later, I found out I was pregnant. So it's really been all happening at once. I was so sick in the beginning, and so that was a bit challenging, like just trying to balance my calling and really just start to get involved and still try to prioritize myself and my health. But overall, it's been great. I am starting to feel better, I think, now. At least I have ways that I know I can cope with like my nausea that will help. I feel like I have a little bit more energy, so it's been good. Life is good. Life is so good, and I just can't wait to keep creating for you guys now that I have more time. So anyway, that is the life update. That was a lot. Did I even say this? We moved out here for Eric's work. He got a manager position. I'm so proud of him because he's so early in his career and he's doing amazing so far. He really likes his team and his job so far. So I'm so proud of him. And it's been going really well so far. We also have our dog, Ollie. He's sleeping right now, so I won't disturb him, but he likes it here too. We have a yard, so he can run around. I've already been filming for a long time, but I wanted to include like some Q&A questions in here. If you're not following me on Instagram, I often ask on my stories for like video suggestions. I'll get your opinions, I'll ask for questions. So if you want to be involved in that kind of process, I'll have my Instagram linked in the description below, and I'll have my username here. But I wanted to answer, some of these questions. So a lot of these were relating to my pregnancy, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea for various reasons. So I do want to I'll keep the pregnancy questions at the end. So if you just want to stay for the normal Q&A, I'll do those questions first and then the pregnancy ones at the end. How do you keep up with a balance between YouTube, work, and home life? I haven't. I have not been able to keep a balance. I think the biggest thing with people who like to stay busy and people who have a lot of goals and motivation and things they want to do is just to accept that sometimes you can't do everything at once, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to decide between good things and good ways to be spending your time. But I would say just really look at your priorities. It's okay if you're not able to do everything right now. You have time, and just really focus on what's important. I would always prioritize, your spiritual health. That comes with scripture study, prayer, and time to study and really focus inwards. Always make that a priority, but then the rest can just it will fall into place. Make to-do lists, and it's okay if you don't get every single thing accomplished and checked off your list every single day. It's best to be realistic with yourself, and I think that's the best way to achieve that balance. Oh, someone asked what I majored in college. I went to BYU and I studied communications with an emphasis in communication studies. So with that specific emphasis, you can have more freedom and focus on a specific topic that you want to go into. Some people focus on communication law or communication within a certain industry. I focused on social media marketing. So that's what I did. Favorite TV shows? Okay, I have so many. I'm obsessed with TV. Right now, I'm watching Big Brother. Well, that's been one that I've loved forever. We're watching The Amazing Race season that's going on, The Bachelor. I love reality TV, you guys. I'm obsessed. I was convinced, well, actually, I did do a reality TV show, but I have a video about it. But I was always convinced my whole life. I was like, I'm going to be on Big Brother. Didn't happen. I did audition. It didn't work out. Okay, my camera overheated, so I think I wrapped up that question. So at this point, I'm going to start getting into the pregnancy questions because that was a majority of what you guys asked. I just have a few more minutes to keep filming before we go out up to Albuquerque. First question is, have you had any dreams about the baby? And if you have, is it a boy or a girl in your dreams? People have also asked what I think the gender is, since we don't know yet. So the first part of the question, yes, I've definitely had dreams about the baby. I've been having very vivid dreams. They seem so real. And before I was pregnant, I wouldn't always remember my dreams, when I wake up in the morning, but I always remember these. They're so crazy and intense. Yes, I have dreamed about the baby. So when it comes to what I think the gender is, I obviously am so happy either way, whether it's a boy or a girl. I'm just over the moon that I'm even pregnant at all. But my guess is that it is a boy. I don't know why. I just kind of have that feeling. And like I said, it could totally be wrong. Like that's the thing. I don't know if it's just a feeling or if it's like the spirit or what. But if it ends up being a girl, I'll be so happy. If it's a boy, I'll be so happy. Either way. But so then in my dreams, it has been a boy. But I think part of that is also because I'm just like, that's what I think it is. So the next question, how did you know you were ready to start trying for a baby? And then I wanted to answer this one too because it kind of relates, but did you struggle with infertility? So just to set the stage here, there's some things that I and Eric just want to keep private when it comes to like health stuff, especially, and just with that whole journey was really difficult. So I don't really want to go into too much detail with that. I know that there are a lot of people who share their journeys, and I think that's amazing. And I love that people do that. It's just not something that I'm particularly comfortable with. But what I will say is that for a few years, Eric and I did not think we would be able to have children biologically due to health problems. So I feel like for a while, we never got to the point where we were like looking into adoption. We weren't to that point exactly. But I feel like for a while, I kind of just got into the mindset like that I'm not going to be able to have kids biologically. And I really dove into my career. And I think, my career is already something that, sorry, my dog just ran down the stairs. My career has always been something important to me anyway. And so it just seemed like a natural shift of like, okay, right after I graduate, I don't think I'm going to be able to have kids. I don't know if it's going to happen. So I'm really just going to focus on my career and building up my business and all of that. And so then when it came to the point where we realized, wow, this could actually happen, it was a little bit difficult just because I was so used to being a working woman and again, having that be a part of my identity and being the cool aunt. And we could, travel, we could do whatever we wanted at the drop of the hat. I mean, we have a dog, but it was just Eric and I, and things were simple and easy that way. And so when it got to the point where we're like, wow, this could actually happen, obviously we were so excited, but I just had to kind of switch that mindset. And there was a lot of prayer involved, a lot of fasting, and really just thinking about what I wanted my future to look like and what I wanted out of my life. And at the end of the day, what I decided is that I want to be a mom. I know that's not the decision for everybody, but for me, that's what I decided. And I decided that I wanted to put my work and my career on the back burner as I really focus on this next step in my life. And so when it came to making that decision of when we were ready to start trying for a baby, I mean, obviously it was a little bit different for us with our circumstances. But I think you look into the future, you think about what you want. You want to partner with God in that decision. And I feel like that's what we did. We couldn't be happier, and I feel like it is the right decision. Some days it is still scary because it's just so new and unfamiliar, and I see, people my age with like 1 or 2 kids, and I'm like, wow, like I don't know if I'll be there, if I'll get there. Like, am I going to be a good mom? Am I going to be able to balance everything, whatever? Which I think is normal for everybody, but that's kind of how that decision went for us. Yeah, so going along with that, someone asked, are you going to work after you have your baby? Yes, I plan on it. I plan on still being involved in my business. I do have 1 employee right now, and so it's really nice to have help. And I do plan on doing that, and I plan on definitely still doing YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, doing social media. I think, I love working from home. I feel like hopefully I'll be able to balance that. But I mean, who knows? I try not to make my plans too concrete anymore because it's gotten to the point where I've realized Heavenly Father is a different plan for me. And so it's not worth like having everything structured exactly. So we'll see, I may change my mind. But as of right now, that is the plan. Last question I'll do. Have you thought of names yet? Yes, I'm obsessed with names. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've had this baby names list on my phone since I was in middle school, and it's on my iCloud, so it keeps getting transferred. I always have it on my phone, and anytime I hear a name I like, I just write it in. But what I am worried about is Eric and I have very different opinions on what kind of names we like. I definitely like more unique names. I mean, my name is Mimi, which is a nickname, but we can go into that in another video. But I definitely like more unique names. And then Eric likes more, like, he's like nothing too crazy. So yes, I have a list, a very long list. Eric has a couple on there that he likes. But that's all I have for this week's video. If you stuck around to the end, thank you so much for watching. It's been so great for me, just feeling like I can be completely open and honest with you guys again. And I'm really excited to keep creating. Stay tuned because my next video is going to be a video I pre-filmed a few months ago, and I did interviews on BYU campus. When I was out in Utah, I filmed that. So anyway, can't wait for you guys to watch that. Stay tuned. If you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed below. You can turn on the notification bell so you're notified when it comes out. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later.